Hi everyone, it's Sally. I'm excited to show my new journal I just finished. I had this cover, and I don't know if you can read it, but the cover. It's called Water Babies, and I've had this cover for quite a while, and just have been kind of, I don't know, saving it for the right time. And I thought I would really like to do something with it, so. I think a couple of things about it that made me hesitate. One was the spine and the book, the whole book, were in really, really bad condition. Excuse me. It was falling apart. And the spine was very narrow. It was just about 3/4 of an inch. And I just didn't think it was going to, it was going to be a lot of work to get it back to something I could use. So the first thing I did was rebuild the spine, and I managed to do it and save the original spine. So this is just a piece that I stitched onto the fabric that I used to cover this whole area here. And then I rebuilt the spine on the inside with basically a couple of layers of old file folder glued together. I thought that made it nice and strong. It still has a little bit of give to it, but it's very sturdy now, and I was really happy to save this, which I stitched down. And then I thought, well, I really didn't like the way this fabric looked. I mean, I wanted something light colored because it's all light. I didn't like the design on it. I didn't like the way the design came out here on the end. So I had gotten some antique lace at an estate sale. And I mean, this is pretty old stuff. I washed it all. I looked up online how to do it. I mean, I was very carefully washing it with vinegar. And so I just put some of that lace on there to cover up the fabric like that. Thought that looked really pretty. I think these little flowers sort of look the same as these. And then I decided it needed a little bit more, and I had some of this part, this piece, there's more of it, but I thought, well, that would look really pretty up at the top. So that came out nice. And then I had a glass button it sort of has a flower design on it. I don't know if you could see it. And then underneath that glass button, just to raise it up a little bit, I put a mother of pearl button, so that kind of shows through a little bit. I used the elastic is tea stained, and I added a few beads to it because I do like that. I've done that before. So let's take a look on the inside. Okay, so some people might think this really looks bad. I think I'm going to raise the camera up just a little bit. It seems like it's not quite all in the picture. That's better. So some people might say, well, should cover that up. I mean, look, it's got some kids drawing on it and the scribbling and dirt and the writing, but I really wanted to keep it so the book was it was for Charlotte Thornton, given to her on Christmas 1895 from her Aunt Charlotte. So obviously Charlotte was named after her aunt. And then this Charlotte passed it on to her granddaughter. So it says, happy birthday to Helen Charlotte Walker from her grandmother, Charlotte Thornton. So I thought that was really cool. So it was passed down through the generations, 1895 to 1941. And there's actually another page inside here that has more of that writing on it. And then I think so here, the first Charlotte actually was practicing writing her name, like kids will do. And so anyway, I just wanted to preserve that. I felt like it was part of the book because it's a very, very old book. So it has 4 signatures, and it has a hidden spine. And this signature starts with an Edith Holden page. I just like the color combination. This fabric here, I really like the fabric. I thought it really went well with the cover, but the way the design was placed, I just didn't care for it, how it looked. So that's why I used the lace. So it has lots of tabs and edges that I've attached to the pages too. I kind of like that. Lots of stitching. So this is from a really old, this another book that was falling apart, Three Little Pigs. So I used some of this rice paper, which is very strong. It makes great hinges when the pages are not together, or you want to put two different pages together. That's how I hinge them. This is the original title page. It's been colored on, written on, and it was actually the corners of it were crumbling, but I stitched it to the back of this page, and so that reinforced it. So some onion skin, and so these I made a lot of tabs out of my snippet rolls. This is a really old ladies' home journal. I made a bunch of these trims, and I probably need to sit down and do a bunch more. So I used a lot. I just love this picture of this beautiful Buick LeSabre with this model. I think it's probably from the 70s. And this is fabric snippet trim. So I made this, there's a little corner pocket with a paper flower stitched down, and a really pretty vintage card. And actually have the original envelope. This was back when cards were like 25 cents. Old children's reading book. This is one of the calling cards that I got, and this one actually was an envelope. And then inside is a little note that somebody wrote a long time ago, and it starts with "Remember me, dear." So it was given to somebody who saved it for, I'm sure, many, many years. Probably the same lady, Rose, where I got these cards at her estate sale. Anyway, I thought it looked pretty, and then I just kind of made it into a little pocket for this miniature postcard of Notre Dame. Parrot feather. And this is from the Walter Foster book. And some more, a painting from the Walter Foster book with these little feathers I made. That's some paper snippet. Lots of hand-dyed papers. Here's the rest, another page from the Three Pigs. And so here's a pocket with a little framed Tim Holtz picture and a pretty floral postcard. And that's the first signature. So second signature starts with a page from a Walter Foster book. I like how those colors look on there. This is from Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy. I think the illustrations in those books are so beautiful. Look at the purple shadow, and the background is so pretty. I like how the artist used a lot of black to make those colors really pop. And even the line drawings are really nice. Handmade envelope. Here's the front. Some fussy cut flowers. And collage on the tab, or the flap. And inside is a vintage French postcard. It has tarnished glitter here, and some writing there, and an address in France somewhere, and French postcard or French stamp there too. Very pretty. Page from an old magazine. Made my snippet roll here into a little tuck spot for this journaling card. Paper bag. This is some kind of electric belt from the old Montgomery Ward's catalog. Not exactly sure what the purpose of it is. And a neat old photo from a scrapbook. 1926. And on the other side is one of those affirmation cards that I like so well. This is from a book about how to draw cats. Another one, page from the Doyle Diaries. And I just put these stars here that I made on the strings. So here's another page from the catalog, journaling card I made. And one of the vintage playing cards, which could be used as a journaling card. And then on the other side of the bag, I put this this interesting old card. It was with the cards I got at the estate sale. It actually has these little three-dimensional little Chinese dolls. And I don't know why there's a rabbit there, but the rabbit is kind of some kind of soft, velvety suede material. And then it has these holes here. And nice, pretty paper on the inside. Best wishes for Happy Easter. So I guess that's supposed to be an Easter egg. Cool, neat, handmade paper. Really, I thought it was a beautiful old card. Unique. Okay, oh, I didn't get it clipped in all the way. There. And here is a belly band I made out of my snippet rolls with this tag, collage tag in it. An advertisement for Ivory soap. So in this pocket is an old Valentine and a page from an old address book. And this little tag that must have come on a pair of shoes. It's original, vintage, not a reproduction. I think that the little girl on there is so pretty. Another Edith Holden page. This is a page from, I think it's from A Child's Garden of Verse. And I have a couple of old copies of that book. This was some of that printed paper I got at a garage sale, and I tea stained it, and I've been using it in my journals. This is from the Russian Ballet book with the little cluster. And so here's I just took this little piece of ephemera and glued it down and stuck these little cards in it. This one here is casket design. All wood caskets. This is a piece of a paper snippet roll I made, and I used a page from an old math book that had these tabs on it, which I love the tab with the yellow tape, so I turned it so the tab was on the inside so it wouldn't be sticking out and break off. And then one of these cute little Hallmark note cards that they unfold, and it comes with its original envelope. It's never been used. colors really went well with this Salvador Dali painting. So inside is a page from a 1927 calendar, Buffalo Textbook Store in Buffalo, New York. And then I just made these little number tags to hang from the strings. And so this is a pocket made from my paper cloth. And I added one of those little flower arrangements that I had gotten with the calling cards. And a postcard of a cable car in San Francisco. I think this must be during World War II because I see soldiers in uniforms. And this bookmark, which I thought was pretty. And just a little cluster over here. Another tuck spot made with my Snippet rolls. And this is a page from that math book with tabs on it. And also a cable car. And an old telephone on this old Rolodex card. This is from the Russian ballet book. Another page from that old Child's Garden of Verse book. And so this actually is a very old card. It's an old Christmas card. And this is actually a newer card, but I liked how the flowers were kind of the same. I thought they went nicely together. It's one of my leaves I ran through the laminator. Oh, so this was actually one of the inside pages of this book. So Charlotte Thornton, she's the one that got the book from San Antonio, Texas, 1895, from Aunt Charlotte. And then Charlotte was practicing writing her name here with a pencil. This is a piece of an old greeting card. And this is one of the original pages, and the pages were just crumbling and falling apart. So I wanted to be able to save them, and I didn't really want to glue them down to something else because both sides were pretty. So what I did was I laid out a piece of tissue paper, just thin, plain white tissue paper. I used spray adhesive, and then I pressed the pages down onto it, and it worked pretty well. And then I made a hinge here, so you can see both sides of the page. And a belly band made with some of my Snippet roll with a collage tag. Nat Turner watercolor painting. This is from a William Morris coloring book. This is some of that new Tim Holtz paper they call backgrounds. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it. I have put a few pieces of it in some of my journals now, so it's kind of small. Fabric tab, another page from the Doyle Diaries with some leaves I made. This is part of an old greeting card. Okay, so there's the rest of the page from the original book. It's the dedication. And as you can see, the corners were really crumbling, but the tissue paper really helped. So I would probably do that again sometime, just to preserve some of these old pages that are just crumbling into bits. Okay, that's it. So I'll be putting this one in my farmer's market booth, and decided to put 125 on that one. But as usual, it is also for sale to anybody viewing the video. So just let me know if you're interested. Thanks for watching.